I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here in the Hub Pavilion in Davos. I'm very pleased now to be joined by Barry Sternlicht. He's the chairman and CEO of Starwood Capital Group. Thanks very much for coming, getting us in before you go skiing. Tell me why you're here in Davos.
I never admit I'm skiing.
Tell me why you're here in Davos,
I've really been coming to Davos, I think, for almost 10 years. And it's just such a unique compilation of people from all over the world and so many different backgrounds. And I've come to expand my mind, to learn about things I hadn't thought about, to talk to interesting people who are doing interesting things. And it's not just business here now, there's a big social agenda. They almost should rename it the World Social Forum. Because economics is actually in the back seat. Even the CEOs are talking about the social agenda. And particularly, this organization seems to be at least focused very much on the education divide. And now there's a big focus on poverty, which is, it's interesting because for me, it's not something I'd pick up in a normal conference. And now I've met people here that I've known for years, and it's just fun to hook up with them again all in one place.
Tell me a little bit about Starwood Capital's focus at the moment. I know you've got a green energy focus, and you've also got, obviously, traditional real estate. Tell me a little bit about those two areas.
We're focused in two major businesses, the property markets globally, and there it's any kind of real estate. It could be residential. We're buying a lot of land in the United States today, residential land. In the property area, most of the equity today in real estate, the value is in the debt somewhere because the property markets have crashed along with in the financial crisis. So property values are down anywhere from 40 to 70%. And if you finance anything, that means the value of the asset is somewhere. You buy the debt to get the asset.
Right.
On the other hand, the government is sort of a clearinghouse right now as they take back the failed banks, and we've been spending a lot of time buying assets from the government, partnering with the government. On the energy side, we raised a fund about 2.5 years ago now to invest in energy and renewables. And working on a solar plant in Canada, which we just announced with a German company. It'll be the largest solar plant in Canada. We have a very large project in Arizona. If it's built, it'll be the largest solar plant in the United States. And we are partnered. We had a partner, which I won't mention, was a Fortune 500 company, but it's interesting because they all want to do green. But when push came to shove, and they have to take a little risk, they walked away from the table. We kept going, the state's behind us, the governor's behind us, and we picked up another corporate partner. And while we might do a slightly smaller project, it's pretty exciting. And we're also investing in the grid, in transmission. And we did a big project that brought power to Long Island. And they actually had a request for additional power. They got one nuclear plant submission as an alternative. They had 6 coal-fired plants. And actually there's excess power in southern New Jersey. So we laid a cable from southern New Jersey to the Hamptons, about 70 miles under the sea. And today it's opened about a year and a half ago. It's 22% of the power on Long Island.
And is this a smart grid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're already producing the power, just using it more efficiently and with absolutely no impact at all on the environment.
A real financial incentive. I was speaking to an entrepreneur from the head of Serious Materials, who is very blatant about the fact that he was in tech, and that's no longer the focus for VCs. They want to put their money into green, and so that's where the money is going. But I'm interested in whether you think that we need a price on carbon before we get the incredible momentum, or whether you think it's just going as it is because it's of interest to consumers as well as some enlightened business leaders.
There are 7 wins for the United States getting off of its carbon addiction. I mean, one of them obviously is it's good for the environment, which will be good for the people. We are the world's biggest users of energy. But more importantly, we can't afford as a nation any longer to send $300-400 billion a year offshore. We really can't afford to spend $1 trillion on a defense budget. Really, at the end of the day, protecting the oil fields, which are basically, it's kind of like the United States economy is on a respirator called foreign oil. And until we figure a way to get off of it, our economy really can't be safe over the long run. And not only that, it's one of the few ways the U.S. could easily create millions of jobs. So when you look at the U.S. economy today, it's not obvious how we're going to come out of this recession. There's a lot of talk by the government, but in a $787 billion stimulus package, the entire solar credit was $4 billion. So more money went to the Las Vegas monorail than went to solar. So while the administration is saying the right things, and they're certainly changing the conversation, many of this stuff can only happen today if the government takes the long-term view that the investment, okay, they're going to incent the creation of the green projects today, or the wind, help wind. I mean, the government built the roads, Ford and GM made the cars, right? We'll build the towers. They have to help build the grid.
Yeah. Barry, it's been absolutely fascinating talking to you. I really appreciate you coming into the Hub Pavilion here in
pleasure.
Davos. And I'm Edie Lush.